So, the first message that I am getting here is understanding cycles. Okay, and it takes me back to this quote that I read the other day, and it applies so strongly to you guys. The quote goes something like this. It says that you were given this life because you're strong enough to live it. Okay. And, as the last sign of the zodiac and also as the most spiritual sign in the entire zodiac, I feel that a lot of the times too, you feel, some of you feel like you're not made for this world. You feel that you have a greater purpose, a greater calling, and a greater spiritual, you know, um, bigger picture spiritual, like leader type of energy. And so some of you go through life almost as if feeling like you haven't reached your calling, and then others are, I feel like, frustrated because the people that you're dealing with, you expect them to adhere to a certain moral standards. You expect people's vibration to be heavily raised, and you might encounter situations that are really quite. It's it's affecting your faith in humanity. It's affecting your faith in people overall. Okay, and so one of the things we want to really understand here is understanding cycles, understanding what other people do should not detract you from who you are and what you should do for yourself. Okay. So this is a card about really standing firm in our foundation, standing firm in our ground, defending the things that we really believe in, and not fluctuate, like not shift back and forth. If somebody behaves in a specific way, it doesn't mean that you should, follow suit and ally with them or align your values with them. So I feel there has been a lot of fluctuations with you guys about like where you stand and wanting as well to connect to people, but feeling as if the people that you're attracting or the people in your environment are not in alignment with your values. So it's basically telling you once again to really stand firm on what you believe in, on defending your values, sticking to your values, despite the opposition, despite what everybody else is doing. You need to be firm within yourself, okay? Firm in your conviction. I'm sensing for some of you, there's this sense of like spiritual calling, this sense of like you're meant for something grander, you're meant for something bigger. And so it makes, living your current life a little bit difficult. So I feel that it is a very strong spiritual calling that's beckoning you. And so as a result of that, you might not be able to, take care of the minute details of the day. You might not be able to take care of practical responsibilities in a methodical, organized fashion. And so you find yourself constantly, pressed for time. You find yourself constantly like, with your head in the clouds. And then financially and even foundationally, you find yourself fluctuating, and you find yourself no matter how hard you strive, you don't feel that, you're making progress. And so I feel this element about, feeling very detached from the physical world that you're living in. And, almost like your head and your body are very detached. Your head is in spirituality. Your body is trying to, I want to say like it's trying to navigate the practical challenges of life, and you're having difficulties doing that. Okay. So I feel that some of you, no matter what you've been through, okay, so whatever cycles you've been through, it's really important to learn the lesson from that event, from that cycle, so that we don't repeat the same patterns, okay? Understanding patterns, understanding cycles. That's very important. I feel for many of you, there has been a lot of catastrophe in your past, and it deals with family, it deals with a physical location. And so don't align yourself emotionally with a physical location, okay? Home is where the heart is. You can move yourself and create another home, okay? So don't be tied to belongings. Don't be so tied to physical things that you feel you have built up over time. Now it's time to release it, Okay. And it's time for you to move yourself to a better situation, to something a lot stable. So no matter what you've been through, broken homes, broken families, it is, I feel that, really important for you to open your heart out again. As long as you don't repeat the same cycles, as long as you've learned and extracted those lessons, it's not going to be repeated. However, as long as you've learned the lesson, the same energies will not come back to hurt you. If you haven't learned the lessons, if you're still stuck physically, emotionally bound to a specific situation that's not healthy for you, then the pattern is just going to, it's going to revolve, it's going to come back. And so figuring out where you stand is actually going to be really important. Coming into this sense overall of, what your values are, how you have, compromise your values in order to appease other people, how you've had to go through some very difficult periods within your own life, mainly because of financial instability, because you felt very alone, or because you felt like, there's that spiritual disconnect where you lived somewhere else, and then physically you feel that it's really difficult for you to make practical choices, to make practical decisions, and to really take care of, the life that you're living in the physical plane. Okay. And so I hope that message resonates with you. I can't find a better way to explain it. Okay. So I apologize, but I hope that message resonates with you. Cycles are being put to rest, okay? Unhealthy habits, unhealthy cycles, unhealthy relationships overall. And I feel for a lot of you too. We have here the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune, it can spin both ways, okay? It can it can raise you up, or it can pull you down. And so wherever you are on this wheel of fate, essentially, it's basically telling you to, get your financial situation on track, okay? Make a decision and don't fluctuate anymore, okay? Make a decision for self-improvement. Make a decision to travel. Make a decision to honestly be on your own, because I feel that a lot of the times you're on your own, things are great. It's the people around you, vibrationally speaking, that might bring you down. So understand these cycles and understand that you need to make these things, these changes on your own. Okay. And you can reach out for help from other people, the ones that you trust. But I feel ultimately the next phase is going to require a lot of independence. Okay. A lot of, I feel like the energy needs to be very directed, okay? Making a decision, sticking by it, and don't oscillate back and forth between yes or no. Should I do this? Should I do that? Make a decision, okay? So it's not a good time overall to be on the fence about things. I feel like you need to be a little bit more quicker on the uptake, because I feel like you have options that are coming through. First of all, I feel almost like some of you might be teachers, and I'm sensing like you have an offer from an institution. Okay, so I'm feeling like teachers or people who are even in school, waiting on offers from school, but I feel like it's a big institution. Okay, so you have something related to school, related to work, even where you have you have received the news very, very recently, and it seems almost as if you're scrambling like a lot in order to maybe move all of your things from one place to the next. And I feel like everything seems very rushed. So you might be having second thoughts about accepting this offer, mainly because you feel just out of sorts. You feel like it's happening too fast. You feel like you couldn't get all the pieces in your life in order to, accept the job or accept the offer and to start in a very short period of time. Okay, so that's the first thing. I see a lot of anxiousness. I also feel for a lot of you, there is like a house move, something akin to like a house move. House move or an institution move, but either way, I see you like hauling all of your stuff and then switching to a new environment. Okay. And I feel like it's going to be very good for you. This has been something that you were debating for quite some time. And I feel like at first it was really exciting. And then the wait, really was very taxing, and it took a really long time to get a finalized answer. And because, it's coming through for this month, it feels to you like it's just very rushed. And then others of you, I feel, you might have been in a marriage type of a situation, and I feel like you're newly single. And because you were in a marriage and for like a really long time, like you were married for a really long time, and or that marriage situation was very unstable. And so once you became single, and I feel a lot of you might have been single recently, and I would say like within a year and a half or so, and you're still not really sure, you feel like out of sorts, and you feel like you're not really sure how to get back out in the dating environment, and you're not really sure as well like what to do, like what do people do nowadays, do they do still do the same things that they did like 10 years ago? It feels like you're asking these questions, and I feel like you have a love offer that is being handed to you, and you're not really sure, like you like the person. I feel like a lot of you are reconsidering an offer, so I feel like it might have come in multiple times, and then this person, the person that's making the offer, is now a little bit more assertive about it. So I feel like you're gonna be contemplating some type of offer. I feel a very, very strong fire sign in your environment. So this is a Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo. And I'm feeling like an air sign. So Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. So both of these signs, I feel like it could be one of them, or, they might exhibit the qualities of both of these signs. So I feel that you're contemplating. I feel that you're trying to decide. And I feel that you're going to go with it. But, there are a lot of things in your life that needs to get settled down right now. So I feel like a lot of new things are happening, and you feel to me like you're inundated with like decisions, choices, and options. And I feel like this is something that's new in the picture, since April. So before April timeframe, I feel that there were a lot of things that were stagnating, and then April allowed you to overcome some of these blockages. And now going into the May timeframe, things are just a lot better for you, and all these options are coming through to reinforce that you are on the right track. And hence, your path is cleared up, and all these opportunities are trying to come through, either with work, with housing situation, with new love partners. So it's like you had to scrap away a lot of things, and it created that power vacuum, and other things, better things, are trying to come in and fill in those voids. Okay, so I feel like within, the August timeframe, the housing situation itself is going to be settled down for better or for worse, but I feel like it's going to be settled. And so I do see like movement happening for you guys. Like I'm seeing like a building that might be a little bit on the taller side. So if you're used to living on like lowlands or, lower environments, I feel like the building is a little bit higher, or it could be like an apartment, or even like a house on the hill, but it feels to me as if it's a little bit more elevated. The last message that I have here, this basically pertains to, overall family gatherings. Okay, so I feel like you might have a lot of invitations, and I feel that you don't really know if you want to go, because that basically means, for some of you who have recently gotten out of a relationship or have gotten out of marriages, I feel that you don't know how to present yourself, to present your situation. Like, do you tell all the family members that you're single and divorced, or like have broken up? So I feel like there's some trepidation with you when it comes to your relationship status. Okay, so here's the thing, Pisces. I mentioned before that, it's really important for us to maintain boundaries, and especially in relationships. So, don't morph into the identity of the other person, and don't take up their fight as if they were yours. Okay. So the whole concept about individual identity is very, very important. And I feel it's really important for you Pisces. It's important for Libras. It's very important for Geminis. So this whole concept about, having a very strong sense of self, so that you don't morph yourself in or blend your energies with a partner, because when that partner is out of the picture, you kind of lose your footing. You kind of lose that sense of self. So it's almost like going through a minor, identity crisis. Like, what do I do now? Where am I now? Like, what am I supposed to do as an individual? And so I feel like you have been taking some time off here to do a lot of work on yourself, but it just still feels a little bit uncomfortable being in a very public setting. It feels a little bit uncomfortable having to talk about these things to, family members that you're not very close with. So I feel like there will be gatherings, and I do sense they will be really good for you. If you need to go by yourself, just do it, okay? Because I feel like you're going to have a good time, and you're going to meet new people, and you're going to have like new support networks, new friendships, and I feel like new romantic relationships are going to be forged as well, okay? Travel is greatly indicated, so it might be, traveling for family get-togethers, okay? Traveling for new jobs, for new housing situations as well. So things look very, very good, okay, Pisces? I'm really glad to see this for you.